Welcome to the VOA News Center. I'm correspondent Jim Malone. With me is colleague Nico Colombon. The inauguration of Barack Obama is coming up on January 20th. We thought it might be worth your while if we took you on a brief tour around the city of some of the important places where the inauguration festivities will take place. Actually, the VOA News Center here in Washington, we're very close to the U.S. Capitol where most of the action will take place. In fact, if we head over to the window, we can show you just how close we are. Okay, so you can see we're pretty close, but at this point, why don't we head up to the Capitol? We'll get a much better view. All right. It's cold out here. It's probably going to be like this on Inauguration Day. Anyway, we don't have a long walk, but let's get up to the Capitol, next part of the tour. Okay, we've arrived at the U.S. Capitol building. This is what is known as the east front of the U.S. Capitol. Most of the presidential inaugurations have occurred right up on those steps on a platform, beginning in the early 1800s, right up through Jimmy Carter in 1977. In fact, some of the great speeches, some of the great inaugural addresses in American history have occurred right here. Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War, perhaps the greatest address, 1865, urging the nation to bind up its wounds after that great war. Franklin Roosevelt, 1933, height of the Great Depression, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. John F. Kennedy in 1961, asking Americans not to ask what their country can do for them, but what they can do for their country. This has also been actually a bit of tragedy at this particular part in reference to presidential inaugurations. In 1841, William Henry Harrison gave the longest address in inauguration history, an hour 45 minutes. It was a cold, snowy day. Harrison contracted pneumonia, and within a month, Harrison was dead. So Harrison has the record for the longest inauguration speech, but the shortest tenure in office as President of the United States. Barack Obama will not be inaugurated on this side. He will be inaugurated on the other side of the Capitol. And why don't we go around to the other side of the building and see how those preparations are coming. They expect maybe 1 to 2 million people will be coming here to Washington for the inauguration. So they have to get ready for a huge crowd. And as you can see, they've thought about just about everything. Okay, we've now arrived at the west front of the Capitol. This is where the action's really going to take place on January 20th. This is where Barack Obama will be administered the oath of office by the Chief Justice of the United States. There'll be dignitaries up on that platform, Supreme Court justices, members of Congress, diplomatic corps, all there to watch this historic event. After the oath of office, Barack Obama will give his inaugural address, eagerly anticipated by this country and the world because Obama is such a gifted speaker, and everyone's going to want to know what tone he sets out as he takes the new reins of the presidency here in Washington. Heavy security expected on Inauguration Day, long lines to get through security checkpoints. It's all part of the modern presidential inaugurations, and 2009 and Barack Obama will be no exception.
Big day is almost here, including stands that are being put up along Pennsylvania Avenue for the parade.
Welcome to America's Main Street. This is Pennsylvania Avenue, the main route of the inaugural parade. You're looking at the Capitol. That's where the inauguration will take place. The parade will come down Pennsylvania Avenue, heading for the White House. At some point, we expect the new president and his family to get out of their limousine and walk for part of the route. This was a tradition started in 1977 when Jimmy Carter walked the entire route from the Capitol toward the White House. Speaking of the White House, that's the ultimate destination for the parade. Let's head over there now to see how the preparations are coming. Ooh, Voice of America Television. We're talking to people about the inauguration. Do you have a minute?
Sure.
Yeah. We're standing at the place where the parade will end, where it all comes to an end on January 20th.
Sure.
What are your thoughts about the inauguration of Barack Obama?
Well, I think it's history. It's certainly an important time in the country as far as what's going on with the country and the world as a whole. So I think it's important for everyone.
He'll make history as the first African-American president. Is that something that you ever thought you might see in your lifetime?
Tough question. That's a tough question. I would say I would have hoped to see it. Did I think it was a reality or could be a reality? I would say no. I did not think it was really going to be possible. And until the entire process is complete, it still doesn't seem very real, you know? Sure.
What kind of message do you hope for from the new president in his inaugural address?
Well, unity. Not just unity from an American point of view, but from a world point of view. And just to give new respect and hope again to the world.
We're at the end point for the parade. This is the official reviewing stand where the president and the first family will be watching the parade pass by. All the marchers, the bands, the soldiers. They'll then go to some inaugural balls in the evening, but at the end of the evening, they will wind up here at the White House to spend their first night as president and first family. And there's a point of irony here in that Barack Obama will become the first African-American president, and of course he'll be spending his time now in a house that was built by African slaves earlier in our country's history. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed the tour. Thanks for joining us, and remember to check out voanews.com for all live inauguration coverage on Inauguration Day.